Alright, guys, we're talking Birds of Prey trailer. You already know. This is a movie I did not think was gonna at all be made whatsoever. You know how they said there's gonna be a Flash movie and all these other movies that DC promises to make? Yeah, I figured that's how Birds of Prey was gonna go. I did not think this movie was ever going to be made. But here we are, and the first trailer is out. And this is a very interesting trailer. First of all, this is a Birds of Prey trailer. And I don't know if I watched the same trailer as anyone else, but there was not a lot of the Birds of Prey in this trailer at all. So for those of you who don't know, the Birds of Prey from the comics are a team of female superheroes, mostly comprised of Barbara Gordon, who is sometimes Batgirl or sometimes Oracle, Black Canary, and Huntress, and a lot of characters like that. But this is just a Harley Quinn trailer. Like, Black Canary and Huntress are in it for a little bit, but they don't even have speaking lines in the entire trailer. It is a Harley Quinn-centric trailer, which is really, really, really bizarre. I know why they did it, because Harley Quinn makes DC a lot of money. She is touted around as the fourth pillar of DC, up there with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, just because she sells a lot of comics. And that's fair. You want to put her front and center in the trailer. That's fine by me. I just don't know why she's in this movie. So the Birds of Prey are heroes, typically. And Harley Quinn is not a hero by any stretch of the imagination. She might not be a villain sometimes, but saying that she is on the same team with Barbara Gordon, who's actually just not in the movie, so never mind. But we'll get to that later. But why would they not just make a Gotham City Sirens movie? The Gotham City Sirens are a team of Gotham villains, including Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy and Catwoman, and that just seems like a way more proper fit compared to throwing Harley Quinn on the Birds of Prey. So that's just bizarre, especially because it seems like Harley Quinn is going to be the main focus of this movie. Now again, I think the movie is going to be very good. The trailer was really good. All right, you know what? Maybe it won't be good because the Suicide Squad trailer, which also had Harley Quinn in it, was phenomenal. So it might just be the exact same scenario where we get an amazing trailer and the movie is just horrible. But I by the looks of this trailer, it does look very good and entertaining. My problem with it is this does not at all look like a superhero movie whatsoever. I don't know what DC has been doing recently, but their TV shows and movies are not superhero stuff at all. That's why I couldn't get through the first season of Titans. I'm going to pick it back up at some time because this whole Deathstroke thing looks super cool. And they added Superboy and, Crypto and all these characters that are really cool and comic accurate. But Titan Season 1 was not at all a superhero show whatsoever. It was just this group of ragtag people on the run from the government. They weren't responding to, superhero threats or super villains. It was just so not a superhero show, and it made me really upset. And you have the exact same thing in this Birds of Prey trailer, where it's just not a superhero thing at all. I think we're at the point in the superhero genre where we're just forgetting what a superhero actually is or what they actually do, and they're just characters who happen to have super person personas, and that's annoying. And speaking of, not comic accurate, there is a lot of stuff that just does not seem at all related to the comics whatsoever. Now, I have said before that you do not have to do exactly what the comics do to make a good movie. That's what the Joker movie just did. They changed the character completely, and it was fine because it would work for the story. There's no problem with changing something and making it better, but when you're just changing stuff to change stuff, or when you could have easily done something different, that's when it gets a little annoying. So there is a lot of little nitpicks that we're going to have in here. Number one, Black Mask. Black Mask is in the trailer. The character Roman Sionis, Black Mask, was in the Birds of Prey trailer. However, there was not a single character in that trailer that had a fucking black mask. Like, that's weird, right? Like, his name is Black Mask. What do you expect for that character to have? There are two things that I expect him to have. First, that he has a mask, and second, that it is black. It doesn't have to be a black mask. It could just be a mask. Just his character wears masks. Now, he probably will end up wearing a mask by the end of the film, sort of that like slowly transforming into the villain sort of thing. Plus, they probably paid a lot of money for Ewan McGregor, so they wanted to use his face, which it makes sense. I'm not complaining yet that he doesn't have a black mask, but he better have a black mask in that movie, because if he doesn't, I'm going to be so livid, because that's just, not only does it look cool, it's just like the entire point of the character is that he's into masks. So hopefully that happens. Second thing about the comics, Renee Montoya was also in the trailer. Again, you might not have recognized her. Renee Montoya, for those of you who don't know, is a police officer in Gotham City who is apparently a member of the Birds of Prey in this team. She eventually will become the superhero vigilante, The Question, in the comics. So I don't think she's going to take on that role at all. But the thing is, she's really old in this trailer. She is just not at all what she looks like in the comics, which again, it's fine. But at that point, why is she Renee Montoya? Again, these are just little snippets because, the Birds of Prey were barely in the Birds of Prey trailer. So it's hard to make judgments on them yet. But, Renee Montoya is one of my absolute favorite characters in all of comics. Her character arc and her becoming the Question is so phenomenally handled that if they mess it up and they just use her as a throwaway character, I'm going to be livid, because there is so much potential. You could have a Question movie. Better yet, you could have a Question TV show with little vignettes where you have the old Question working out and then her taking up the legacy and the mantle. Oh, there's so much you could do with it. So if they just use her as a side character here, DC, you will not have my respect. Speaking of side characters in this trailer that just seem bizarre. So in the very last scene of this trailer, there is a little Asian girl who is apparently, and I did not know this the first time I watched this trailer. I had no clue. I didn't realize till someone told me that this was Cassandra Cain. Now, Cassandra Cain in the comics is, again, another phenomenal character who eventually, during the No Man's Land arc where an earthquake strikes Gotham City and leaves the city divided in all these criminal factions, Cassandra Cain takes up the mantle of the Batgirl because she's one of the greatest fighters / assassins in the world. Her father was David Cain, who's a phenomenal assassin. Her mother is sometimes portrayed as Lady Shiva, who again worked for the League of Assassins and is an incredibly powerful assassin. And that's not who's in the trailer. This is just some random girl who they're calling Cassandra Cain. And her line, which we'll talk about in a second, her line that she says is, "What are we talking about?" And that's what she says in the trailer, which particularly is an interesting line because Cassandra Cain can't talk. She is mute. She does not understand how to talk. Recently in the comics, she's been starting to learn language and use broken, fragmented sentences, but she can't speak fluently, and she just does here. So this character is not Cassandra Cain at all. And this is what really, really confuses me. Because if you are going to create a character that is not Cassandra Cain, why would you call her Cassandra Cain? If you just named her something else, there's just no problem. But by making her Cassandra Cain, this does two negative things. First of all, it makes it so that you can't use the character in this universe. So it robs the chance of using Cassandra Cain in the future, who is a great character with great character arcs, so you just can't have her show up anywhere. And second, it completely ruins the public's perception of who Cassandra Cain is. You see, you might not realize it, but how the general public thinks about characters is really super important to comics, because depending on what big companies think that the general population wants, they'll just change comics left and right to match that exact thing. It happened with Tony Stark. It happened with Guardians of the Galaxy. They want new people to come into comics, so they just change them to look exactly like they do in the movies. So it's just bizarre. And there's all these little things in the trailer that just seem so slightly off for no reason. Why doesn't Black Mask have a black mask? Why is Cassandra Cain just not Cassandra Cain? All these little things that are just kind of confusing and nitpicky. Overall, movie looks good. Definitely going to go see it. Excited for the next trailer. All that good stuff. But I don't know why they didn't call it Gotham City Sirens. I don't know why they didn't make Cassandra Cain into actually Cassandra Cain, or used any Batgirl in the movie, for that matter, because there isn't one. I don't know why they didn't give a speaking line to Black Canary or to Huntress. But overall, I'm excited for it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. You guys excited for this movie? You guys not really care at this point? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.